What's going on, fellow artists, engineers, producers? Welcome back to another video. Thank you to all of you who are subscribed, and for those of you who aren't, go ahead and do that now. That helps out a lot. Give this video a like, and stay tuned for the rest of the video, because today we're talking about how to get those warm vocals everybody's talking about. So today, guys, we're going to be working on another rap track for this. You kind of get to see everything that I mix, how I get the right vocal tone and everything, my different processes. We'll be working with an artist. His name is Ray. His rap name is Ray. This is the third track I'm doing with him. He likes my taste for mixing, what we've been accomplishing with his other mixes, and I really like his vibe. I think he's pretty dope. And so that's we kind of started a good relationship with that, and we're going to keep it going. So without further ado, guys, let's hop right in, as always, and I'll show you what I have so far. I'ma take her to the mall just to buy H&M. I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I guess I'll... Alright, so we got a lot of stuff going on. He's got the main vocals, and he has a couple backups. One's more of a singing backup, and one's more of an ad-lib. It's not perfect yet. I did tweak some things. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn off the plugins and show you what it sounds like dry, and then I'll walk you through what I started to do, and then we're gonna finish it together.
Don't scrutinize, then you know I'm dope, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise, and I wonder how you look at me.
Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the main vocal. Turn the plugins back on. We'll go ahead into the virtual mix rack here. Turn these off and we'll do it one by one. I always use the virtual mix rack on vocals. Now I recently switched to slate things from waves, and I really like what you can do with a lot of slate stuff. But with that being said, I'm not 100% using slate all the time. I still use both waves and slate, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So I always start with the gate. I think their vocal gate works great. To find that, you just go to dynamics. All the way down to their gates, they got one for drums, and they got one for classic, and then you can choose vocal here, which I should have done in the first place, but that's all right. So take a listen.
I guess I'll scrutinize, then you know I'm duffel, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise.
And then this is your sidechain filter. So what it's gonna do is actually find that point where the vocal comes in, and it's gonna help out a lot with your gating. It's so much more smooth.
Hey, why your core nice?
So you of course have your ratio, so how much it's gonna take out, you know, once it goes below that threshold. And then you have things like your range, you know, your attack and release like you normally would, and then you have a slope option, which is really cool. So how smoothly it's actually coming in and out, which is great. I mean, you can get a perfect gate, flawless, with this plugin. So I really like it in this this virtual mix thing that we have here. So the next thing in this virtual mix rack is an EQ. I'm just using the FGN. Pretty common, a lot of people use this. You'll see the most of what I'm doing is adding a lot of bass, but it's really not adding that much bass, because at the same time I'm cutting it as well. And you'll find out a lot of people that record at home, a lot of their vocals sound really thin. So I like to do that, add some realness to it, and that's also going to bring us our warmth. So I'm adding around 110, maybe a little bit above, probably about 6 dB actually, and then I'm cutting it at around 80 to 90. So it gives us a cut right there at the end, the stuff we don't need, and then a little bit of a boost, so it kind of evens it out. And then you'll hear what I'm talking about when I turn this on. So let's play it back.
She blue like Yoshino. We got love till 3005 like Gambino.
And then I also noticed I was getting some real harsh frequencies up in the 2K range, so I ended up just taking that out, maybe a couple dB. I don't want to go too much. I'm okay with adding a lot of bass because I'm cutting it, but when I'm taking stuff out, I want to be real subtle about that, because you can screw it up real fast. So the next thing in my chain is the virtual channel. It's going to give us a little bit of life, a little bit of grit. So I went subtle on that too. The input and the output are linked up, so you know, you're not going to change a volume there, but I went a little bit on the input here. If you go too far, you'll get too much distortion and saturation in there, so we'll check that out.
Living life and turning up, that's what we know. Yeah. AP moving my rollie, I got style like I'm Uzi, yeah.
So pretty subtle, but I like what it's doing, adding a bit of character and life to it. For rap, I usually go with the Distressor plugin. It's called the FG Stress, pretty much an Empirical Labs Distressor emulator. I think it does a great job. I really like it on rap vocals, so I always add that in. Just real subtle with my input here. Ended up going with a 4:1 ratio. I think the 6:1 was hitting it a bit hard. And then somewhat of, you know, medium to quick attack, and then I've got a medium release on it. That's just, you know, the vibe I was going for. It wasn't like a fast rap where I'd want a fast release. He's singing in some parts. So I wanted a little bit slower release just to smooth it out. And then of course I adjusted my output for the overall volume. So we will check that out.
Excuse me, yeah, you can never tell me shit. If I want that nigga girl, then I'm gonna take his bitch. I'ma take her to the mall just to buy H&M.
So all I did there was add a bit of life to it, added a bit of low end, so the vocal itself, the frequency range was more balanced. We got a little bit more grit out of it. It's cleaned up with the gate. Everything's pretty good, but I still need a little bit more life from it. So that is why I'm adding the FGA EQ. Now it's up to you what EQ you want to use. Slate Digital gives you a lot of options here, you know, and I like all of them, to be honest. But for this one, I ended up going with the FGA, and I just added a little bit of 10K, get that high end in there, and then 8K was bothering me. I actually ended up taking out 4 dB, which is a lot, and we'll play with that right now and see if that's actually necessary. And then again, I added, you know, some more 1K, a little bit of 6 in there to give it that thick kind of feeling. So around 5 or 6K, you're gonna get that thick, lower mid kind of feeling. But for this one, I really felt that it needed some 6 in there, so I added 2 dB of it. But we'll go ahead, we'll turn that on, we'll check that out.
Use me, yeah. How you say you love me, disappear, but you confuse me, yeah. You can never tell me shit. If I want that nigga girl, then I'm gonna take his bitch. I'ma take her to the mall just to buy H&M. I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized. Then you know I'm duffel, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise. And I wonder how you look at me and your own mind, yeah. Pink hair bitch, she Sakura Haruno, yeah. Ay, wild card, now she blue like, you know, told me just to know me, yeah. I know most these bitches want my pockets in and use me, yeah. How you say you love me, disappear, but you confuse me, yeah. You can never tell me shit. If I want that nigga girl, then...
Okay, so what I ended up doing, I think -4 and the 8K was a bit too much, so I kept it at -2. Everything else pretty much stayed the same there, and then I got rid of the low end because I think we have it at a good point. We don't need to add any more low end. So I actually ended up putting that right back at 0. So that's cool for now. We're still going to make more tweaks, but I like how it is right now. I think we cleaned it up. So I'll turn the virtual mix rack off, and then I'll turn it on to show you overall. So the thing is, when you're making all these little adjustments, they don't really seem like a lot, but once you get all of them added up together as a whole, it makes a big difference. So I'm going to go ahead, turn that off, and then I'll play it back again.
Then I'm gonna take his bitch. I'ma take her to the mall just to buy H&M. I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized. And you know I'm double, but I...
So pretty big difference there. Makes it more lifelike, a little bit more full. But the thing is, we don't have all that high end yet. And that's what a lot of people like. They want it to sound crisp. They want it to sound airy. And we're not there yet. So I'm gonna show you how I achieve that. But right now, all we did, we cleaned it up, we added some bottom, we added some life to it, and I'm going to take you through the rest. So my next step is going to be an EQ. You can use any EQ. This is Slate's EQ. Pretty much looks like a Fab Filter EQ, which is another great plugin. All I did here was I cleaned up some frequencies that were a little bit overpowered just for his voice. It may not necessarily be the mic or the recording setup, it could just be his voice. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna solo these and show you exactly what I took out and why.
Yeah, you can never tell me and I'm gonna take his bitch. I'ma take her to the mall just to buy H&M. I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized. And you know I'm duffel, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise. And I wonder how you look at me and your own mind, yeah. Pink hair bitch, she Sakura Haruno, yeah. Ay, wild card, now she blue like Yoshino, yeah. We got love till 3005 like Pino, ay. Living life and turning up, that's what we know, ay. Yo, they be like, how your diamond so frozen, you ain't choose him. That's why he lost his bitch. Got a rollie on my wrist, ay. When I shoot my shot, you know I hit. How you look at me and your own mind. They can never tell, no.
Okay, so just a couple things there just to clean it up. And this can vary with anybody's voice, anybody's mic, anybody's recording setup. You just want to give those frequencies that are a little bit out of control. So that's pretty much what I did there. Again, he wanted auto-tune, so I'm using the Waves tune real time. Let's see what key this is in. C minor. A lot of his stuff is in C minor. So I went with a harsh setting on that, so 0.1. We'll check that out.
To them all just to buy H&M. I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized.
It's already a lot better with the stuff that we put on, and we're still not finished. I think we're about 50-60% there. My next plugin, of course, is a creative effect. It's a chorus pedal called the Chorus WS1. I got this from Mercurial, however you pronounce that. It's actually a free plugin. It's really great. It's an awesome chorus effect. It's meant for guitars, but you can put it on bass, creative effects for vocals, a lot of different things. I think I've even put it on strings before, and synths as well. It's a really good one to throw that on. I mean, you just got to think outside of the box sometimes, and this plugin is great for a lot of different applications. So check that one out. I really like that plugin, and I just have it on a real subtle setting here. I keep these all the way down, and then I bring it up till I feel that it's good. So I'll go ahead, I'll set it at 0, I'll play it back, and I'll show you how it gives us more fullness and more width to his main mono track. And be sure when you're adding this too, your vocal tracks are going to be in mono. So in Studio One, it would look like that right there, which means mono. Go ahead and click that. Now it's going to be in stereo. So you're going to get your chorus effect to actually work in left and right channels. And if you didn't do that, it would just sound weird. It'd sound like a robotic doubling effect. So make sure that you always have it in stereo when you're adding a chorus. So let's go ahead and play that back, and we'll check it out.
Like how your diamond's so frozen, cause my diamond's fresh out the Antarctic Ocean. We were chosen, that's why we do this shit.
Obviously, I turned it up to show you what could be a result if you turned it all the way up, you know, and be a little bit too much. We still want our vocal to be centered, but it's cool to add a tiny bit of width to it. Gives us a fullness feeling. So I go real subtle with it, and it works. I like it. So that's a good one to check out. So what I do now is I actually send it to a vocal bus, and my backups and ad-libs are also going to be in that vocal bus. But for time purposes, we're just going to do the lead vocal. So that's already in the vocal bus. We're going to head over to the vocal bus right now. I don't do this on all vocals, but for his vocals, I really like adding the CLA mix hub. So we're going to go and check that out. I'm going to get rid of the EQ here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did.
My rollie, I got style like I'm Uzi, yeah. Turn my life around and fuck the homie just to know me, yeah. I know most these bitches want my pockets in and use me, yeah. How you say you love me, disappear, but you confuse me, yeah. You can never tell me shit. If I want that nigga girl, then I'm gonna take his bitch. I'ma take her to the mall just to buy H&M. I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized. Then you know I'm duffel, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise. And I wonder how you look at me as your oh my, yeah. Pink hair bitchy Sakura, her Bruno, yeah. Hey, why your car not she blue like your Chino, yeah. We got love to 3005 like Campino, eh. Living life and turning up, that's what we know, eh. Yo, they be like how your diamond's so frozen, cause my diamond's fresh out the Antarctic Ocean. We were chosen, that's why we do this shit. No, she ain't choose him, that's why he lost his bitch. Got a rollie on my wrist, ayy. When I shoot my shot, you know I hit, I never miss. And when you shoot your shot, you always know it's hit or miss. And when I'm done with her, I be gone like the...
All right, cool. So what's going on here? In the first section, we have a little bit of this mic turned up. That's going to give us our analog saturation, which when a lot of people talk about warmth, really what they're referring to is saturation from an analog console. It gives it that warmth character. So that's what we're doing. We're adding a tiny bit of that, not too much, because these vocals are already a tiny bit saturated. Now, I don't know if that has to do with the recording setup or not, most likely. So I'm just adding a little bit more to give it an analog feel. I'm cutting it at, you know, close to 120 and maybe just a hair off the top, because we don't need all of that, but it's not really going to be noticeable anyways. That's just kind of a feel type thing I like. And then I'm adding a little bit more from what I cut off, so it's just a nice sound that I prefer there, to cut it and then just add a little bit to it so it doesn't feel like it's totally just cut off. And then I'm taking around 8K again off. You know, once we compress and stuff, that 8K just really starts to come out, so I'm taking a tiny bit off just to -3 there. And then I noticed I had this up at 1.5 or 2, but that sounded okay to me. I like having that in there a little bit, and it does bring out that crispness, so I left that how it was. And then I ended up taking around 700 hertz here, again, you know, -3. And then around 8K here, I added a little bit of high end just to get some of that air. And I think we're almost there. So I really like that. In the compression settings here, I hit it really hard. And then of course the comp mix, I back it off a little bit. So you have a mix of, you know, really compressed vocals, but then you have the true vocals coming through too. So it doesn't really seem like you're doing a lot. It looks like you are, but when you back it off, it's really not making that much of a difference. So that helps out a little bit. I noticed some of his stuff was coming through real hard, and that could be because I have the release set real low right now. but I ended up switching to a fast attack, and that fixed that up. I actually might play with this release, so let's play it back real quick. I might mess with this a little bit.
I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized. And you know I'm duffel, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise. And I wonder how you look at me and your own mind.
All right, cool. So that's a little bit better there. You know, I set the threshold respectively, but it is hitting it pretty hard, and I backed it up to 60%, which is cool. About a medium release, fast attack, and I'm around a 4.1 ratio. So go ahead and play with the Mix Hub, man. It's a really cool plugin, and it emulates an SSL console, you know, better than any other plugin that I've, you know, used. Gonna add that saturation for you, give it a bit of warmth. I just like it overall, man. It works. The EQs are great. It's just a really cool plugin in my opinion. So try that out if you guys don't have it, and I think it'll help you out with your mixes. So the next plugin that we're gonna check out again is the EQ here, the Infinity EQ. And this one, I took a lot of stuff out that was bothering me, but we're gonna go ahead, we'll probably make some tweaks, see if all these are necessary.
I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized. And you know I'm duffel, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise. And I wonder how you look at me and your own mind. Your pink hair bitchy Sakura.
See, I don't really need this one, I don't feel, so I'm just gonna get rid of it, and we'll check out the others.
Bruno, yeah. Hey, why your car not she blue like your Shino, yeah. We got love to 3005 like Campino, eh. Living life and turning up, that's what we know, eh. Yo, they be like how your diamonds so frozen. Cause my diamonds fresh out the Arctic Ocean. We were chosen, that's why we do this shit. Hell, so I get so damn scrutinized. You know I'm joyful, but I got an evil side.
All right, cool. I mean, I feel like we're 80 to 90% there. The only thing I would do is maybe add a little bit of air to it. I'll probably go with a Steven Slate or a Slate Digital plugin here. Either the virtual mix rack again, just add some air to it. They do have another one, I believe, yeah, it's the Air EQ. I haven't really used that one, so why don't we just throw that one on there and we will check that one out. All right, this one seems pretty crazy. Well, we'll check it out. It looks really cool.
Disappear, but you confuse me, yeah. You can never tell me shit. I'm all just a by H&M. I'ma turn that girl, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise. And I wonder how you look at me and your own mind, yeah. Pink hair bitchy Sakura Haruno, yeah. Hey, why your car not she blue like your Shino, yeah. We got love till 3005. Your diamonds so frozen, cause my diamonds fresh out the Arctic Ocean. We were chosen, that's why we do this shit. No, she ain't choose him, that's why he lost his bitch. Got a rollie on my wrist, ayy. When I shoot my shot, you know I hit, I never miss. And when you shoot your eye, don't wake that nigga up, you might meet your demise. I wonder how you look at me in your own mind. They can never tell, no. That nigga girl, then I'm gon' take his bitch. I'ma take her to the mall just to buy H&M. I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized. And you know I'm duffel, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga, how you look at me and your own mind, yeah. Pink hair bitchy Sakura Haruno, yeah. Hey, why your car not she blue like your Shino, yeah. We got love till 3005 like Campino, eh. Living life and turning up, that's what we know, eh.
All right, that's a really cool plugin. You could do a lot with this. I've never used it before. It's pretty cool. I took a little bit off the low end and I actually added too with this earth feature, which I didn't even know you could do that. They have a character over here. I didn't hear too much difference, probably because I'm only doing things real subtly, but I added a little bit, I think in 7K, yeah, around 8K, and then a little bit more around 3K. Sounds pretty good to me right now. So a little bit of air on that, a little bit of crispiness, and then a little bit of low end too, which is gonna add even more warmth, which is what we're going for in this tune. And then the only thing that I would do is probably add a de-esser, and then of course I would do my reverb track. I would mix my ad-libs similar and maybe add delays. I think this one I did a back and forth panning effect. So yeah, and I would probably add these ones again to the vocal bus. And let's check all this out together. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's how I would do that.
That nigga girl, then I'm gon' take his bitch. I'ma take her to the mall just to buy H&M. I'ma turn that girl out and send her back to him. They can never tell, so I get so scrutinized. And you know I'm duffel, but I really got an evil side. Don't wake that nigga up, cause you might meet your own demise.
So that's really cool. You can take a home recording and get really professional vocals that way. You know, it's all a matter of taste. You know, what you do, what plugins you use. It doesn't really matter as long as you get a good result from it. And you can do that with stock plugins. You could do that with high-end plugins. It doesn't really matter. But this is how I go about my process a lot of the time. It's not 100% perfect right now, but of course I'm gonna go back and tweak some things and get it there. But this is pretty much how I do things. This is my process, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like that, if it helped you out, go ahead, subscribe. That helps me out. Give this video a like, and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks, guys.
They hate this shit for real, yo. These people, they can't tell, no. We ain't have it easy, we been right through hell, bro. I've been trying to block